Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys Jerry Jones drops stunning update on Trayvon Diggs. Well, this was quite the twist. Back on the Thursday before the Cowboys beat the Commanders, the team announced that star cornerback Trayvon Diggs had suffered a knock on the head at his home, and would be out with a concussion. That was followed by the team ruling Diggs out for Week 8 against the Broncos, and, surprisingly, putting him on the injured reserve. The surprise there was that it's not typical for NFL teams to put players with concussions on the IR, because the IR requires players to sit out 4 weeks under league rules. Because concussions are unpredictable, the presumption is the player can return before the 4-week mark. After Week 8's loss in Denver, though, owner Jerry Jones revealed that it was Diggs' knee that was the cause of him being put on injured reserve, not the concussion. That made some sense. Diggs had a graft surgery in January to bolster the ligaments in his left knee, which he'd torn in 2023 but had not fully healed correctly. The presumption, then, was that Diggs was on the IR because he returned too quickly from the January surgery. That is, until Team Jones spoke on 105.3 The Fan on Tuesday morning. He made an eye-opening revelation that Diggs' right knee is the problem, not his left knee. Said Jones, Diggs' biggest problem is he is injured and it's not the same knee as he has been doing his rehab with. That's his number one challenge. Unfortunately, he has got a handful of challenges here that are physical. That's why he is the status he has got today. Jones was asked for clarification, that it was not Diggs' left knee that was the problem. No, not at all. It's his other knee that's injured, not his reconstructed knee, Jones said. Diggs has not been good at all this season, even when healthy. He's yielded a 148.7 passer rating when he is targeted, a major leap for a guy who had been allowing a career passer rating of 77.2. Coach Brian Schottenheimer addressed Diggs' injury on Monday, saying he hopes that Diggs returns, hopefully for a playoff push. The knee has been problematic throughout the season. He's a really good player and we just want to get him back and get him healthy and to be able to help us finish strong, because we feel like this thing's going to come down to the end of the season, Schottenheimer said. Jones was asked on Tuesday whether Diggs had played his final game with the Cowboys. "I don't see that today at all," he said. Cowboys perfect Trey Hendrickson trade offer Bengals can't refuse. The Dallas Cowboys defense has been an unmitigated disaster in 2025. Sitting at 3-4-1 through 8 weeks, the Cowboys have surrendered more than 400 yards per game, ranking dead last in the NFL. They're giving up 260.3 passing yards per contest, the most in the league, and opposing quarterbacks are posting a staggering 110.6 passer rating against them, a mark no QB in NFL history has achieved for an entire career. The defensive collapse has been particularly acute since trading Micah Parsons to Green Bay before the season, leaving Jerry Jones and company desperately searching for a solution. Enter Cincinnati Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson, the 4-time Pro Bowler who led the NFL with 17.5 sacks in both 2023 and 2024. With the Bengals struggling at 3-4 and quarterback Joe Burrow's long-term availability uncertain, Cincinnati finds itself at a crossroads. Reports indicate the Cowboys have already called about Hendrickson but were rebuffed. However, with the right package, Dallas can construct an offer that addresses both teams' needs while giving the Bengals assets they simply cannot refuse. The Cowboys acquired 2 first-round picks and defensive tackle Kenny Clark from Green Bay in the Parsons deal. Jerry Jones has made it clear he's willing to use that draft capital to fix the defense, stating Dallas is in position to make that trade for defensive help. With over $31 million in current cap space and the financial flexibility to absorb Hendrickson's $29 million salary for 2025, the Cowboys have both the resources and the desperation to make this happen. For Cincinnati, the equation is equally compelling. The Bengals never had interest in keeping Hendrickson beyond 2025. They offered him a 3-year, $95 million contract with no guarantees after the first year, essentially phantom money designed to avoid a long-term commitment to a player who turns 31 in December. Hendrickson will hit unrestricted free agency in March 2026, and the Bengals are projected to have minimal cap space. Rather than lose him for nothing or spend roughly $36 million on a franchise tag, Cincinnati should cash in now while his value remains high. The Bengals are seeking a young player who could contribute both this season and in the future, along with a mid-round draft pick. Dallas can deliver exactly that, and more. Ian Rappaport's reporting makes clear that Cincinnati wants immediate help plus future assets, a framework this proposal satisfies completely. With Hendrickson already dealing with a hip injury that kept him out of the second half against the Jets, the risk of holding him through the season only increases. The perfect trade proposal. Dallas Cowboys receive defensive end Trey Hendrickson. Cincinnati Bengals receive 2026 first-round pick from Green Bay, 2026 third-round pick, linebacker Shamar James, 2027 conditional fourth-round pick, becomes a third-rounder if Hendrickson records 8+ sacks for Dallas in 2025. This package gives Cincinnati everything they need to rebuild while remaining competitive. The Packers' 2026 first-round pick currently projects as the 31st overall selection, a premium asset for a team that needs to add young talent on both sides of the ball. Shamar James, Dallas's fifth-round pick out of Florida, provides the immediate young linebacker help the Bengals desire. The 22-year-old offers versatility and upside, fitting Cincinnati's timeline perfectly as they transition to younger players at the position. The third-round pick addresses Cincinnati's need for mid-round capital to restock the roster, while the conditional fourth-rounder rewards the Bengals if Hendrickson performs at his typical elite level. Given that he's averaged 17.5 sacks the past 2 seasons, that condition becomes a virtual certainty, upgrading to a third-round pick and giving Cincinnati additional ammunition for 2027. For Dallas, this is the home run swing they need. Hendrickson's 4.0 sacks through 7 games in 2025 may seem down from his recent production, but he's still generating consistent quarterback pressure and remains one of the league's premier edge rushers. Plugging him into a defense that has managed just 5 total sacks this season would be transformative. The Cowboys still retain one of their Green Bay first-round picks, their own first-rounder in 2026, and their entire 2027 draft haul from the Packers, preserving future flexibility.